What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 11th Hour Gaming Channel. I am AJ Gales, and you're watching the 11th Hour. This is my weekly news segment where I cover a variety of gaming news from out there just for you guys, the viewers. You are the most important people in the world to me. Thank you so much for viewing this content. And this is actually a little bit of a special episode to me. If you couldn't tell by the name of the channel and all that, the number 11 is super important to me. If you ever want to hear that, I might talk about that somewhere down the line. I talked about it in one of my Assassin's Creed videos. But yeah, the number 11 is super important to me. So, like this being my 11th episode of the 11th Hour, right here on my own channel, the 11th Hour Gaming Channel, it's really weird. It's really special to me. And again, I just can't tell you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Right now, we're live in my basement. You can see it needs some work, but but everybody, again, I keep saying it, but everybody, but seriously, thank you so much for watching. Please, don't just watch, if you're here from this, please use this as a jumping off point for my channel. Please check out my, my Let's Plays. I have a bunch going right now. I've a couple finished that I just still haven't uploaded. I have a couple coming out, in next week. And then they're just with a shit ton of stuff coming out next year. Tons of Let's Plays, a lot of news, a lot of all that stuff. Please keep tuning in to this channel for that. Or down in the description below, you'll find my website, Twitter, Facebook, all of those. Facebook and Twitter, you'll find updates on everything going on the channel or on my website. And on my website, all my reviews. Tons of stuff, all that, all under my banner, all from me. I think I just finished my Just Cause 3 review a couple days ago. That went live. And I'm still working on my Fallout 4 review, which should go up by next week. Keep tuned into those. Everything. I think that's everything. The only other thing I have to say, guys, is seriously, you can use any of those three, Facebook, Twitter, my website, all that, or the comments below, just to tell me, in really any of my videos, if you have any sort of critique, comment, some sort of constructive criticism on how I can make this stuff better to keep bringing you guys back for more content. That's the point of this channel. I blanked what the hell I was going to say next. But if you already are enjoying this content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. Help me grow this brand into something truly special. Maybe I won't be recording these shows somewhere in the future on my couch. Who knows? Well, without further ado, guys, I'll stop yakking. Let's get right into some news here. Leading off, I always like to except for last week was a little off, but, I like to start with some tech news. And apparently, according to Scott, I'm going to hopefully get this name right, Moffat, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Nintendo, they are, of Sales and Marketing, and then, I'm sorry, there should be a comma in there, my notes. Nintendo will be supporting the 3DS for the foreseeable future. This is after, I think last week, some plans leaked for a new handheld system, something, I don't know, but according to them, Nintendo will continue to support 3DS, all that, for all you people who are 3DS users. Support will continue to come for that console. Microsoft's official Xbox wireless adapter. That's you plug into your PC, your laptop, whatever, and you play games using your Xbox One controller. Well, apparently now supports Windows 7 and Windows 8.1. So that, and I'm speaking about Xbox. This next thing I found really interesting. Apparently, Microsoft is having trouble keeping the Xbox like the Elite controller. The one with the cool little like flying saucer like disc pad. Apparently they're having trouble keeping that controller in stock, mostly because demand is so high. Like I can't remember who said. I think oh my god, why am I blanking on the name of the head of Xbox? I feel Phil Spencer. Jeez, head of Xbox. And if I'm getting the wrong name, I'm sorry, guys. But the head of Xbox, as he puts it, it's they keep making more and they keep selling out so fast. So if you can't get your hands on one, like me, that's why I really fucking want one. Those are so cool. Let's see. This. I don't like getting into these sad notes. This is something gamers. I know a lot of gamers don't like talking about, but microtransactions have come to the French PlayStation Store for Destiny. This is kind of weird. This is there are three packs, one for each Guardian. This will apparently be kind of a pay to boost your level up to 25 immediately. I'm not a big fan of these. You pay for your level. Even if you're just starting now, grind up. I don't know. That's what I did. I don't think pay to. I don't know. I think that's just a cheap way to do it, and it's just not. I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of people who do that. But it's really funny because while Destiny's doing this, another Activision game, being Black Ops 3. I know Bungie. I believe the developers on Destiny was Bungie, and I want to say Black Ops 3 was Treyarch. I could be. Yeah, I think it was Treyarch. Activision Publishing. At least I believe it's either way. Activision has announced that microtransactions, I can't speak right now, are coming to Black Ops 3. This one I'm a little more okay with. I still think it's really kind of dumb, and I don't get why you'd spend your money on this, but apparently this is a virtual currency that you purchase with real money, which is where I was like, let's cut the middleman and just let me buy directly onto the game, as opposed to go into the store, buy this currency, and then use this currency to buy stuff in the game. I find that very obnoxious. But apparently you can use this virtual currency to purchase additional supply drops in multiplayer, or I'm gonna make sure I pronounce this word right, liquid divinium in zombies mode. I have not seen the zombies mode for this. I've heard it's really cool though. I do want to check it. I might do a let's play that somewhere along the line, because I keep hearing, I've seen this one. It's really cool. Really surprised me, but that's I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. For a limited time, playing the game, all consoles or platforms, will earn you a free one-time 200 points. With this next little caveat kind of weirded me out, because I don't understand how this is a thing, but apparently this is while supplies last. Don't know how it works. Seeing that, you technically purchased the game, but if it's to people playing, I don't understand why there's a limited supply of these. If it's on, I don't know. I might not understand how the internet works. Either way. Apparently the price ranges for $2 are 200 of these points. I think they're like Call of Duty points. It's very unoriginal. But for $2 it's 200. $10 is 1,000 plus a 100 bonus. For $20, 2,000 with a 400 bonus, and for 40, if you're kind of following the math that they're doing, for 4,000 with a 1,000 bonus. Which is why I don't get why they don't just say for $40, here's 5,000. Instead of going 4,000, make you think you're getting a deal for the extra 1,000. Just, I don't know. It's weird. I think it's. Apparently on December 15th, Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper, I can never say that one correctly, came to PS4. I think this is along the lines, with all these, new with the PS2 emulation coming to the PS4. Really interesting. Yeah, I keep hearing from people that Parappa the Rapper is so good. I never played it back in the day. I don't know, like I was very active in gaming back to the PS2 era. Active, I played a lot of games, and I owned a shit ton of PS2 games. But I didn't follow the news and all this like I do now. But I don't know. A lot of people are excited for this. Parappa the Rapper again. I love saying that, Parappa the Rapper. I love saying that name. It's very popular. Apparently, okay. Kind of less of a news story, but kind of I watched this yesterday, I can't remember. on like an IGN, kind of like a first kind of thing. And they were showing off 12 minutes of gameplay for Mafia 3, not Mafia 2. With some developer commentary, Ryan McCaffrey, and go check it out on IGN. Really cool video. You see some interesting stuff. We didn't learn anything new about the game. Like they didn't tell us any systems that we haven't been told in previous interviews, articles, whatever. It is kind of neat to see a little more of the game. Like I think I've seen chunks of what they showed in gameplay sections. I think back at Gamescom. I can't fully remember. But there's we didn't really learn anything new, but the game looks really cool. Really interesting compared. I mean, not saying that Mafia 2 wasn't interesting. If you haven't played Mafia 2, I don't think you need to play Mafia 1, because I didn't play Mafia 1, but Mafia 2 made perfect sense. Really cool game, really fun. My only problem with it was that the big open world didn't have jack to do. It was just kind of just there and made you drive a lot of places. Which is kind of funny that, they're addressing this in Mafia 3 to make this a little bit more. If you didn't know, Mafia 3 is taking place down in New Orleans. I don't know. I can't say that with the accent. New Orleans. It's taking place down south. To anybody I just offended, I am so sorry. But yeah, it's taking place down south. I think right after Vietnam. That dates are a little shaky for me. I always forget which goes first, Vietnam or Korea. I think Korea went first, then Vietnam. Either way, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm sorry, guys. But no, you play a returning war veteran. What's his name? Oh, crap! All I'm thinking is Cassius Clay, and I'm like, that's not right, because that's Muhammad Ali. I can't remember I can't remember the main guy's name for the life of me right now. But he plays a half black, half something else that apparently we don't know of. He gets involved with the mafia, and it's all about rebuilding it as the new head, and it's it looks like a really interesting game. A really interesting franchise, really cool. Really glad to kind of see it coming back with some new flavor. What was it? They said the release, the launch window, they kind of left it very broad. 2016. So keep your eyes out for that. I really I was super stoked about this in the summer, and then it kind of escaped my mind, and I've totally forgot about it. I'm so I saw this again. I'm like, that's why I like this thing. Geez, that game it looked really cool. Something I found really interesting. They talked about. Your guy. He'll start shooting one-handed, but he'll shoot one-handed with his right or one-handed with his left. Apparently they did research, and it's one of the first things they teach you in the army is how to shoot with both hands. I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, you want to check out that gameplay. It's all over IGN. It's really really neat. 12 minutes out of your time. You get to see some cool stuff. For a new game. Moving on though, Gearbox Studios. The people. Most famous for bringing this one of the games of this new big genre that's coming out called hero shooters, which I've been mistaking for MOBAs. I don't know. But Gearbox, they're Battleborn. Apparently Gearbox is currently opening a new studio, and very originally named Gearbox Studio Quebec. And guess where it's located? By the way, I don't know. I'm interested to see what Battleborn I wasn't super interested in Battleborn, Overwatch and all these other ones, all these hero shooters that are apparently coming out. But they've drawn my eye. They're not in my full focused view. The first game that has my full focused attention for 2016 is February 9th's XCOM 2. That's the first one that has a really big spot in my brain. But they're kind of they're kind of interesting. I want to see what they're gonna do with it. Only time will tell with that. So who the hell knows? But and speaking of these hero shooters, and I actually mentioned Overwatch. Overwatch director Jeff Kaplan talked to Eurogamer about the progression system that will be in Overwatch, and there's a couple quotes. So, I'm gonna make sure I get these. Unlike WoW, or unlike World of Warcraft or Diablo, where progression is one of the main motivating factors in those games, whether it be what your level is or your gear, Overwatch is different in that sense. New quote, end quote, new quote. We don't want a progression system to be burdensome in the fact that it's telling you what to do or how to play. And again, end quote. This is really, kind of like this idea that, they're trying to change it up a little bit. Apparently, according to Kaplan, the intent isn't rewarding with like better gear, guns, stat upgrades, but apparently it's like cosmetic rewards, and just basically, it's apparently going to be more like skill based. I think similar to Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Which kind of funny because that's the next terrible segues. I'm sorry, people. But Counter-Strike Global Offensive, probably still one of the most popular shooters out there. I think on PC right now. Because I think there's an Xbox One version, but I could be wrong. But apparently the big controversy over Counter-Strike's Global Offensive R8 revolver is being solved, mostly because it's being nerfed. I don't think the gun's being nerfed, but I think its power is severely being pulled down. With this new update. This update is apparently also, along with, balancing out the R8 revolver, also bringing pistol and rifle rebalancing and certain gameplay tweaks. This is all from a Valve blog post, and they are admitting the mistake and responding to the players for voicing legitimate concerns. I think that's a classy move. I like it when the I'm sorry, I'm getting really stumbly here. I really like how they kind of took responsibility for what they thought was bad, or what people are saying we don't like this, so we're gonna fix it because it's about the gamers. The fixing it will bring them back for more stuff later on. I really like that idea. Ubisoft used a similar idea when they were first kind of pitching Assassin's Creed Syndicate way back when that game was first being talked about. I think back this March. Earlier this year, when it was talking, a lot of times they were showing I remember watching the original announced trailers, I was getting a haircut at the time, so I'm telling my guy, I'm holding my phone up watching, they're streaming by all of these different reviews, and everybody's about Unity and saying all this stuff, and they're basically saying sorry, it happened. Let's move on. Let's make something cool. And I really appreciated them for doing it. Just I think it's a classy move on Valve's part to kind of address and say, look, you guys had some valid concerns. We understand. We're fixing it for you guys. And I really I find that very commendable. It looks like Minecraft Story Mode Episode 4 has a release date. It will be coming to you December 22nd. I wish I could talk more about this. I'm not a Minecraft guy. I don't know. Rust and Ark Survival Evolved have kind of a little bit of a interest to me, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't find these games very enjoyable. I don't know. Although I've heard the story mode, it's being done by Telltale, totally different kind of thing than normal Minecraft. Super interesting, if you're into Telltale or and again, I will always talk about this game because I truly loved it, and I still need to finish episode 5 of Life is Strange from Don't Nod Entertainment and Square Enix. A really interesting game. I think they announced a sequel. No, maybe. Don't quote me on that. They might have announced a sequel. Go check that out. And then send angry tweets at me when I'm wrong. Come on, I know it's the internet. It happens. Towerfall Ascension and its Dark World DLC. It came out December 15th to PlayStation Vita and PS TV. Um, apparently, the game and DLC will cost $15 and $10 respectively. You know, 15 for the game, 10 for the DLC. And this game is cross-buy, so it will already be available to all of you people who are already purchased this game on PlayStation 4. Um, okay, I found this next story kind of funny, kind of funny, kind of interesting, whatever. A worldwide studios game development head, um, this is for Sony. This is like kind of like a first party kind of like talk, but Scott Rode shared a few details on Sony Bend, Sucker Punch, and Sony Santa Monica Studios. Like their projects right now. And this is the three of probably the big. I mean, I know there's a lot more, but these are three usually talked about studios as far as the like the first party studios within Sony go. And this is all via Kind of Funny Games, which I was saying kind of funny leading it. It all links together. This comes from an interview with Kind of Funny Games, all via DualShockers. And apparently, nowhere did he share exact details. It's like I don't understand what the point of this. But apparently, on the specifics of Ben's new game, he believes this will be Ben's kind of like shining moment. Again, no specifics with Sucker Punch's new game. It's saying it's fun. It's just an early development. Not surprising. And again, he's just very excited about Santa Monica's new game. I have a theory. Maybe new not Gears of War, God of War. Maybe a new God of War game. Who knows? But I don't know. Those guys are way smarter than I do. I have no idea. I have no idea what the hell they're doing over there in Sony. I bet they have some really cool projects going live. It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do in the future. According to Irrational Games website, it is looking for a I can't speak for a systems designer and QA manager with, and I quote, a passion for narrative-based FPS or first-person shooters. And this is like Irrational Games, possessive, there. These are the people behind BioShock Infinite. Really cool game if you haven't played it. You don't really need a lot of knowledge about, really, I do not any knowledge of the prior BioShock games. It's fairly standalone. It kind of references them. If you're interested. Really fun game. Really cool. And this was this was noticed by Polygon. Kind of give the source the credit. But this is really interesting to kind of hear because I really liked holy crap, I just said the name of the game. I really liked BioShock Infinite. I really kind of want to see another BioShock game come from them. But man, I don't know, it could be something totally different. Either way, really cool. It'll be interesting to see what these guys are going to do. WWE 2K16's Creation Studio app can now be used to scan and upload images into your game. Basically, and it can also take access to your photo library or camera to upload images from there. But apparently, and this app, blah, blah, blah. This app is available for free on iOS and Android devices. Basically, what this is, it's one of those, you can take a picture of your face and you can get your face on a character. You can take a picture of a logo or whatever and put it on trunks or title designs or I don't know. Take your pick. I don't know. I see some like copyright or some sort of issue coming out with that. But it's a neat idea. Or somebody, I'm putting money. Somebody out there scanned and took a picture of their penis and put it on one of the guys' faces, and I'm being gross, but I'm putting money that's happened somewhere, and if not, I just gave somebody the idea and they're gonna put it on the internet, and I'm sorry, world. Moving on. Neil Druckmann, Uncharted 4's director, talked with Kind of Funny Games about the dialogue options that were debuted in Uncharted 4. I hate myself right now. This is a direct quote. There was a few spots in the game where we felt dialogue options would give us something interesting. I don't know why I put that quote in. That's a very boring quote. Like the long and short of it is, it's like, you know, like the one that they talked about. You know, it's like when you meet, you know, Nate meets his brother for the first time. You know, you can pick which story he starts with. You know, does he start with Uncharted 1, 2, or 3? You know, it's like, because there's such a big thing over which one's the best one. In my opinion, it's 3. I like 3 the best. I don't know. Check out my review on my website for why I found 3 the best. I don't know. And you go ahead and yell at me because I have to be the out there one, and everybody says it's 2. But either way, I was really hoping this would be kind of like a branch. Maybe they're bringing in like branching paths, you know, maybe a multiple ending thing. I was probably hoping for too much, but still, I think what they're doing, like, because what they're doing for this, it's like whatever you pick probably doesn't matter. It's just kind of he says kind of something that I don't know. We'll have to see exactly what they are when it comes out, because he was kind of, I'm not gonna say cagey with the details, but again, I think he was trying to say stuff without giving anything away. Apparently, a new Battlefield game is in development over at DICE. Apparently, development director Dan, I'm going to butcher this name, Vaderland, Vader. He tweeted out, now that we've shipped Battlefront and a part of the team continues to work on it, I am moving on to another project, the next Battlefield. I kind of want to, I don't know, like, how I feel about this, you know, like, I wasn't a huge Battlefield fan, oddly enough to Hardline, like, not a lot of people liked Hardline. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked the cop angle. I'd like to see maybe like another weird idea kind of come out, you know, like I don't know. I'd like to see something like interesting, not just another war game, or go back to World War II. I really want to see a World War II game with all, you know, like the nice new, the new engines and, you know, all that stuff, you know, like I would love a World War II game. Again, you know, it used to be, everybody was tired with World War II shooters. Now I'm tired with these like mech suit shooters, and it's ugh, gross. It looks like Conor McGregor will be joining Ronda Rousey, I think that's how her last name's pronounced, on the cover of EA Sports UFC 2. Have no interest in this game. I liked the UFC Undisputed games made by THQ, I believe. They're published. Either way, really cool games, or those were. I wasn't a huge fan of the last EA Sports UFC game. I'll give this one a shot, but I'm gonna put money that I'm not gonna like it too much. Because I also hated that other one that they released. Well, because, you know, they still had their whole issue with the UFC, which I read somewhere or heard somewhere once that, you know, it was an issue because you know, Dana White was trying to get like the Undisputed games to go up with EA, but EA basically said we're only interested in like real sports games. I have no way of verifying that, no like sources. I that's just something I think I remember from years ago. So, you know, that could just be me talking out of my ass. Jeez, where the hell was I? Apparently, you know, this is after his win over the former featherweight champion Jose Aldo at UFC 194. He won his fight in the first punch, winning in 13 seconds, and that's just beating the record set by Rousey's short fight of 14. You know, it's a big fight everybody keeps giving her shit for, you know, with that big kick to the neck. It was a flash knockout, you know. I don't know. I still think she's a great fighter. She's gonna get back up. This is about video games, not fighting. I'm sorry. I love boxing. I like the UFC, all that. You know, it's I don't know. Sometimes, you know, I talk about it and I get kind of whatever. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep myself on track because there's a lot of crap this week. Fan requested Rock Band 3 track export coming to Rock Band 4. Okay, sorry, I thought I skipped something. On PS4 in North America and Xbox One worldwide. Apparently, European territories should get this on, I'm sorry if I said that too quick. European territories should get this on PS4 sometime next week. The cost will be like $15 to purchase something like a license key. And this is kind of like how you do it. And I'm sorry, I'm just kind of let's see here. And then you have to log into the profile you played Rock Band 3 on. Go to Get More Songs, then Exports. Choose Rock Band 3 and select Rock Band 3 Disc Export Pack. This will give you access to all 83, disc tracks from Rock Band 3, and this license key is only available through the Rock Band store, so you can't, get it through the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Marketplace. Let's see here. Star Citizen has surpassed 100 million from its crowdfunding campaign. I think the first thing I saw of this game was back at, I think, the Game Awards. Looked really cool. It looked kind of Mass Effect-y, which isn't a bad thing because I really like Mass Effect. I think that's, it looks like an interesting game that I know absolutely nothing about. Although it does bring up something, with all these like crowdfunding games, there's tons of them right now. It's, I don't know. Like, she happens in trends in this industry, and apparently hero shooters are the next big thing. Smash Brothers Masahiro Sakurai, I might be mispronouncing that, made an offhanded comment during an interview, that was being featured in, Making a Fire Emblem 25 Years of Development Secrets book, basically saying, well, DLC is coming to an end soon, and he's talking about Smash Brothers. The DLC support for that game is apparently ending soonish. Moving on. Other Side Entertainment has officially announced System Shock 3 coming to, I believe, PS4. We do not have an exact release date, but they're kind of like teasing it on their website. A lot of fans of the series, not me. I'm sorry, I've never heard of the series. Oh, maybe I have. But a lot of fans, were claiming, they were teasing it, but to anybody who knew about it, it was pretty obvious. But a very interesting thing coming out. Apparently, this might be a VR game, or at least VR accessible. I don't know. If you listen to any video, I'm not going to go into it just to keep from bugging people. You guys know my take on VR. I don't like it. Anyway, it looks like a listing on Amazon France has shown that Rise of the Tomb Raider is coming to PC. I think it was January, February. For some reason, I didn't write that down, and I feel bad. I think that's super great for this game. Of what I've seen of it, it's really cool. I love the definitive edition. I just put up my last Let's Play episode of that yesterday, something like that. Well, yeah, I record these the night before, so yesterday, I mean by Wednesday. I don't know, I really hope this kind of gets this game kind of more out into the limelight, more viewed by the public. I don't know, releasing it right with Fallout was kind of bad for it, especially with it being an exclusive. Although kind of like look at its competition, I think release a week early, you'd have Call of Duty, I believe was that one, release a week late. You have Battlefront, and then you were hosed no matter what you did. So a little sad for them that I think that game's that hasn't performed. But I think now that it's coming out on PC, will be a big kind of boon for it. And hopefully it also does really well on PS4 when it supposedly comes out next year. Hopefully. But speaking of Tomb Raider, the developers of the game, Crystal Dynamics, have announced the two new co-studio heads of Ron Rosenberg and Scott Amos. That's a fun name to say. Head-to-head challenges are coming to Guitar Hero Live. This is connected to like the Guitar Hero TV thing. It's the playable music videos and all that. I've been hearing some good things about it. I still need to get this Guitar Hero. I really like the idea. Like the new controllers and whatnot. But apparently this will randomly, pick two players of equal skill to face off in a one-on-one showdown. It's kind of like you both play the song at the same time, and it's all that. And apparently neither player will select the song, and it's totally unclear as to if you can opt out of, if like it'll pop up and say you want to do this, and you select yes or no. All that we know is that it will appear twice every half hour, coming up. And like basically the only like reward, it's the winner gets some bonus XP, and you kind of show off your custom player card and all this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't get excited about stuff like this. Maybe some people are. I don't know. According to the ESRB, and this via Nintendo Life, Super Mario Galaxy, the original, the first one, is coming to the Wii U eShop. So anybody super big fans of Super Mario? That's a bad pun. I'm sorry. Just the way I'm sitting really hurt my knee. Let's see here. I lost totally where I was in my notes. Let's see here. After word that details on jeez, I am sorry. After word on that details of Fable Legends, I believe the MMO styled game set in the Fable world would be coming. They said this last week. Lionhead Studios has now officially announced they will be pushing the game back to spring 2016. That's a little sad. I don't know. Or no, I'm sorry, not the game. The open beta is being pushed to 2016, spring 2016. I'm sorry about that. Ubisoft apparently has now announced that some changes are coming to Rainbow Six Siege. Apparently they are adding casual, or they're balancing or changing casual and ranked playlists. I think making it more fair, making it more interesting. Let's see here. I think I'm missing a letter here. I think it's the Lon Dark is getting an official story mode. It could be the Long Dark. I'm sorry. I only have LON, and it's one of those two words. I can't remember. Haven't played this game. What I was hearing sounds kind of interesting. But this game is getting an official story mode. According to Hinterland Studio, the first part will launch in spring of 2016. It is expected to be kind of like 3 to 4 hours long, with subsequent episodes being 2 to 3. That kind of adds like the whole season total of 10 to 12. So I'm assuming they're kind of doing a telltale kind of like release, like in episodes. Apparently, and the current version is available on Steam and Xbox One for $19.99. This is U.S. pricing. I'm in America, if anybody wants to know or can't tell by my voice. But the price will increase as story mode is released. So you can go find that now if I were you. And apparently all Kickstarter early access and game preview backers will get story mode without an additional charge at launch. Let's see. Okay, this is something that I originally thought was interesting when I first kind of heard this, and then I don't know, it kind of makes sense now. We have 3 characters coming to, or technically 2 upcoming, one that already came on Tuesday, December 15th. If, we already knew that Cloud from Final Fantasy was coming to Super Smash Brothers, and I think here Cloud and the special stage based off of Midgard are now available for $5.99. If you want to buy it on Wii U and on 3DS, but if you want to buy them together, because of the cross buy kind of functionality. I don't know how cross buy kind of works for that, but either way, it's $6.99 US bundled up together, and that went live Tuesday, December 15th. And apparently, the new lead for the new Fire Emblem game, Corin, is going to be available to you sometime. Kind of like the goal is February 2016, and will cost $4.99 on just one platform, or $5.99 kind of bundled together. And both male, kind of like some previous characters. Both a male and female version of the character will be available. The new Fire Emblem looks interesting. I need to do some more research into that. And this is the one that threw me for the loop. This was a weird game for me, because I'm not gonna say Nintendo's always seemed kind of conservative, but they've always kind of seemed more on the childish side. Maybe not childish isn't the right word, but Bayonetta is coming to Super Smash Brothers. That's just that's a weird choice in my opinion. Although and I'm constantly like, why is this being on Wii U, or why is this coming to a Nintendo platform? But then I totally blanked and forgot that Bayonetta 2 was a Wii U exclusive. So I don't think they own the rights to the IP, but I think they got that exclusive. I played Bayonetta 1, wasn't bad. It's very Ninja Gaiden, Gears of God damn it, God of War. Those kind of games, kind of hack and slashy. It had some interesting stuff to it. Maybe I think more Devil May Cry. It's been a while since I played any of those other games though, so I could be remembering them wrong. Either way, Bayonetta and the Umbra Clock Tower, with the same target month as Corin, so February of 2016, will cost $5.99 on platform, or cross-buy $6.99 for them bundled together. Geez, like I said this earlier, my Just Cause 3 review kind of went up a little bit ago, and or a couple days ago, and apparently this is leading into this next story with Just Cause 3 patch 1.02 is coming to all platforms to, and I quote, significantly reduce load times, and this is all according to an Avalanche blog post. I don't really remember loading screens being the big issue. There were a lot of other things that probably need fixing. But apparently Avalanche is going through like reviews and comments and all that from the fans to kind of like prioritize its fixes to the game. And I will say, God, there should be a lot of them. Other than load time, there's like other tweaks and stability fixes and whatnot. And this is something I felt I had to add, because this was a kind of a weird kind of why they. I could be taking this out of context, because that you can't take inflection or whatever on when you're reading something. But they addressed apparently some fan feedback about the lack of sprint and crouch buttons, which I have to agree. He ran super slow, and I don't know. There was like no cover system, which I thought that game could have done well with and been used as a cover shooter, but I don't know. And addressing the whole, like the crouch and whatnot, Rico doesn't hide, and, kind of like ellipsis and new quote, getting him up in the air is our version of cover mechanics. And I'm like, I think that was stated incorrectly. I think that game was more, it was more focused on run and gun, as opposed to, run and gun, bullet fire. There's nothing wrong with that. I prefer more like a cover shooter kind of mechanic, kind of like how Mafia 2 looks, Gears of War. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the way that game, with what they did, although this next one kind of bugs me, and I don't have an exact quote, but apparently, it's like in like regards to like the sprint, they didn't have a sprint because they wanted players to use the grapple more, which I don't know. I think that's a weird one. So you make you make the character like extremely slow to force us to use this new system. That worked well. I mean, I didn't have a problem. I never had a problem with the controls, and I'm not sure if I stated that clearly in my kind of review. But like the controls were never my issue. My issue was the massive performance bugs. For me, the big one being the frame rate. And usually that doesn't bug me, but holy crap, that one was super bad. Load screens. My game crashed a couple times. There would be times where there would be no music playing in the background. It was really awkward and silent. I saw deers spawning on top of cars. It was freaking me out. I thought I was like on an acid trip or something. And then I'm like, how the hell did I get on acid? Either way, I don't know. I think that's kind of I'm not sure if I might be reading these wrong, but I think these are kind of like crappy reasons to kind of dodge questions. I don't know. Again, if you want my full thoughts on Just Cause 3, go check out my website for my review. All in all, I thought this game could have just done with some more time and just being worked. I think that it should have been a 2016 title. I think because of that whole island contest and whatnot, I think that game got shoehorned and got made to be meet its December 1st kind of deadline. I don't think it was ready to be shipped, and they shipped it, and the game's performing. I don't know. Again, you go check out my review. There's tons of reviews out there, and people are kind of agreeing it's not that great. It's okay. Either way, Hardware Rivals is coming to PS4 via PlayStation Network January 5th, 2016. The cost will be $20. That game, I believe, is in beta in October. But it's like a little tank arena fighting, and it really interesting. I don't see a lot of those. The Banner Saga, a turn-based tactical RPG about Vikings, will be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on January 12th, 2016. This is interesting, especially, I kind of look at, like, the art styles, like, it's all hand-drawn, and it's really a beautiful-looking game, in its own way. It's not, like, look like the lifelike graphics, but, it's very pretty, but, and this is kind of weird because, even though it was originally, this game was kind of announced for Vita back at PSX in 2014, we don't have any info on whether or not this is going to come to Vita or not. But publisher versus Evil community director Lance James responded to a comment on that on the PlayStation blog, where this is actually from, PlayStation blog, and said, we'll get some PS Vita news very soon, and no, it's not canceled. So I'm not saying that's a confirmation, but I am saying, I guess that's I'd say it looks good that this game might be coming to Vita. I'd say, keep out hopes for that. And also, it's been revealed that saves will carry over, leading into the sequel that was announced last year, I think. But yeah, really interesting looking game. I'll probably try that when it comes out. We'll probably try that sometime in January. My schedule's pretty open in there. This is an interesting studio. I've never heard of this studio, but Capybara Games has announced that Below is coming in 2016. Co-founder and president Nathan Vella told Game Informer, "Past that I can't share much yet. We'll certainly have a lot more content to show and news to share in the new year." This is a really kind of a procedurally generated, like, platforming game. That's all I know about it. Okay, now getting to the very end. Yeah, this is some stuff I wanted to kind of save to the end. Like, geez, we've already gone for about 45 minutes, but I want to take some time on this one. Apparently, Konami is looking for developers for the new Metal Gear Solid game. And this is causing some kind of stir out there, because the verbiage on this post is a little off, because they're not saying, like, the verbiage is maybe indicating that we may see a brand new start to the Metal Gear series. Maybe they're kind of saying, okay, that was Kojima's, and now we're going to start this new one. It's kind of be the same story, but I'm going to say easier to understand and probably more accessible. Because no offense to Kojima, I mean, he was an artist. Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of my favorite games this year, but holy crap, that, I've tried, like, looking it up and, like, the story of all of the Metal Gear history. It is nuts. And I'm sure anybody out there pretty much anyone who's knows these games knows what I'm talking about. But this might be a new start to the series, because the post isn't saying for a new Metal Gear, but in the words are, they will work on the new Metal Gear, or they're looking for people to work on new Metal Gear, not a new Metal Gear, but new Metal Gear. Again, I don't know if this is a translation error, or maybe not a translation error, but like a syntax and Japanese to English, or if this is I don't know, maybe this is telling that this is going to be an entirely new thing. Who knows? I'm really interested. I'm interested in it just because I want to see where that franchise is going to go. I'm not super happy with Konami, which I am kind of super happy about this next story, which kind of involves Konami, and that has to do with Hideo Kojima. In the news recently, his big whole fight with Konami has finally ended. December 15th, his contract is out. He has officially left Konami, and leaving Kojima Productions behind and all that to go and start Kojima Productions. He basically took his studio named Kojima Productions and left. He's basically, it's now an independent studio. and it's also called Kojima Productions. Apparently, and this is I read this on Gama Sutra, really an interesting news site. Popped up on my Twitter. Apparently, they have currently 4 staff, and they're all Kojima people. I don't know. They're still looking at expanding, and there's a lot of big stuff coming out for them later on. It's really interesting to see what's going to happen for that. But apparently, Kojima has aligned with Sony this time around to make an exclusive for PlayStation. We're not sure as to if that's going to be. And again, I was listening to Podcast Beyond this week, and they did a big talk on this, and they made a theory that because they didn't even say PlayStation 4, it's like here's a new, it's like PlayStation 5, or it's all this. There's tons of stuff this could be. I'm super interested to see, because apparently what's going on, the deal they made, Sony's basically giving him the money, the capital, and leaving him alone to go create and do his stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be cool. Because apparently he wants to make more of an edgy game, which I'm super interested in. He's interested in working with Del Toro. He's spoken out and he said he's interested in working with Del Toro again. If you didn't know, the whole Silent Hill debacle, where he was supposed to work with Guillermo del Toro, using the likeness of Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, to make a Silent Hill game. All fell through because Konami canceled the project. But he's interested in working with Del Toro and other horror aspects. He's interested in doing VR games or working with the VR tech. It's gonna be super interesting to see what Kojima's gonna do in the future. I have no freaking clue. Try and read that guy's mind. It's like a rat nest in there. But no, I'm super excited and super glad for Kojima-san leaving Konami. That's just seemed like a terrible working kind of relationship. Especially even not being allowed at the Game Awards, to accept the game that was his last, not last big game, but it's his last big game in that series, in that company. It's, I don't know, I find it kind of sad. But either way, well, everybody, that's all I got. 51 minutes later, that's all I got for you guys. Seriously, everybody, thank you so much for watching. It always means a lot. Any kind of views, all that stuff. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much, especially for joining me. Like I said, this is a very special episode. I didn't do anything necessarily different or weird, but it is it's kind of special, in my heart. It's the number 11. It's very special and important to me. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. And please, I didn't do this at the beginning, but in my usual plugs, please, everybody, remember that the 11th Hour Gaming channel is your one-stop shop to everything gaming. There's news, reviews, let's plays, all of that right here in one place, on the 11th Hour Gaming banner. Please go in the description below. Find me on Facebook, Twitter. My website is reviews, Facebook, Twitter, updates on everything. You can get a hold of me through any of those, or the comments below to give me some criticism, constructive criticism on this channel. What's wrong, how to fix it. Tell me what you're not liking. Hell, tell me what you're liking. Tell me if you're enjoying the shows. Tell me all of that kind of stuff. I'm super interested to hear from you guys, hear your feedback. And if you're already enjoying this, don't just tell me in the comments or any of that other stuff. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, keep getting updates on more content for this, keep watching, keep telling people about it, all that good stuff. Help spread the word about this channel. That's all I ask of you guys. Please, if you enjoy it and if you want to, please do that for me. It's not, I'm gonna keep doing this for a while, but still, doing it for a bigger audience, always it's cooler. And yeah, everybody, I always say this, but seriously, thank you so very much for watching, everybody. Have a happy holidays in the coming. I know it's actually really funny. I'll be recording Christmas Eve next week, but I'm serious, everybody. Happy holidays. Enjoy your time with your family. Thank you so much for watching any of this video if you've made it this far. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you so very much for watching. Tune in next week. This show will go live every week of the year at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on YouTube, right on the 11th Hour Gaming channel. Everybody, this has been the 11th Hour. I am AJ Gels, as I've said a bunch of times. This is the 11th Hour Gaming channel, and guys, I'm out. See you around.